Hello everybody out there, how are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, bringing you the best and unbiased and honest content on property, along with fantastic hints and tips. Stay tuned today for all your latest property news. Now, according to CoreLogic, Australian property prices hit a national record high in November. Their home value index rose by 0.6%, which is the smallest monthly increase since February, but enough to break the record. Since the market low in January 23, housing values have increased 8.3%. While nationally figures are up, 3 capital cities actually experienced a drop in values over the month. Darwin was down 0.3%, Melbourne and Hobart both fell by 0.1%. CoreLogic say, and I agree, that an imbalance between supply and demand is keeping strong upward pressure on housing values in most markets. Although rising advertised stock levels, deteriorating affordability and low consumer sentiment had dragged down value in 3 declining capital cities. Dwelling values increased the most in the smaller capital cities during November, with Perth leading the charge. They say that despite the high cost of debt and deeply pessimistic consumer sentiment, purchasing activity had held reasonably firm. Now, the stark imbalance between housing supply and demand, as I just said, is tipped to continue driving up property prices in 2024. Domain's end-of-year report says that the market has already overcome 13 cash rate increases and a cost of living crisis to keep rising in 23. Domain predict that house prices across the combined capital cities will lift another 6 to 8% in 2024, and they forecast regional price rises between 2 and 5%. They say that Sydney's prices will grow between 7 and 9%, Brisbane and Adelaide will be between 7 and 8%, Perth around 6% to 7%, Canberra 3 to 5%, and Melbourne and Hobart will be between 2 and 4%. Unprecedented post-COVID migration and population growth will continue to send shockwaves through the property market as a booming population looks for a place to live, according to Domain. It will continue to exert extraordinary upward price pressures on the property market, they say. New data shows where first home buyers are buying their homes. Housing Australia's annual Home Guarantee Scheme Trends and Insights Report, financial year 2023, shows that in New South Wales, most first-time purchasers are in Sydney's southwest. The 2170 postcode, which includes Liverpool, Casula and Warwick Farm, had 166 buyers through the scheme. In Melbourne, the 3064 postcode, which includes Craigieburn, Donnybrook and Mickleham in the outer north, was the most popular with buyers. Mackay in regional Queensland out there had the most purchases in that state and in all of Australia. South Australia's Smithfield had 55 sales, Armidale in Perth had 219. In Tasmania, Devonport and Burnie both had 35 buyers each. PropTrack says that first home buyers are particularly constrained by financing conditions. You don't say. The data shows us, they say, that they are mostly buying in these outer, suburban and more affordable areas. Now, just as 2023 defied the forecasts of economists and news media, delivering solid price growth in most jurisdictions, 2024 will do better than the pessimistic predictions that emerged recently. According to Terry Ryder of hotspotting.com.au, those who predict significant price decline for 23 and 24 have something in common. They all believe the biggest factor is interest rates. In the simplistic mindset of bank economists, movements in the interest rates dictate what will happen with dwelling prices. History has shown that this is false, and 23 provided further confirmation. There were multiple increases in the cash rate, but prices continued to increase in most major markets, proving that there were more powerful forces driving prices. Those elements can be distilled into one word: shortage. The Australian housing market has shortages of everything that matters. We have been building too few new dwellings. There are too few homes listed for sale, and there is an undersupply of rentals. The shortage factor has been exacerbated by high population growth, turbocharged by a backlog of arriving overseas migrants. And as we consider prospects for 2024, there are no remedies in sight. The building industry has many problems and cannot produce homes fast enough. All levels of government, but state governments in particular stymie development with restrictive taxes and red tape, which slows everything down. Policy changes are invariably detrimental to investors, which deters the cohort that supplies 90% of homes that people rent, and that worsens the rental shortage. The other big factor that will impact 24 is the steady rise in buyer activity throughout 23. The year began with weak markets in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, as well as regional New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. But as the year has evolved, sales activity picked up steadily until by the September quarter, these markets were pumping along very strongly. This is the momentum that will create a strong start to 24 in those key centres and regional areas. And unless supply increases and the demand lessens, I don't see property prices doing anything but go up. Now, I will keep you posted, as always, on all things property from around Australia. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying the free content. I wish you all Happy New Year and a happy Christmas, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.